welcome back to ECW in the year 2000. Again, we are going through another few episodes of TV today. I will start this episode off with a bit of an apology. This episode may be a little bit shorter than ones you are used to, mainly because I'm probably only going to get through one episode of Hardcore TV and ECW on E today, mainly just through time constraints and life getting in the way. I've only been able to record, or only am going to be able to record, a short amount this week. So it may only be one episode of each. Since you were last with me, there hasn't been much of a change, I don't think. Again, I don't think there's nothing really much I can show you. But we are going to kick off straight away with our first episode of Hardcore TV. So, ECW Hardcore TV opens up with Rob Van Dam backstage. He says that he's finally earned another shot at Lance Storm after Only Violence. And he is going to win the ECW World Heavyweight Championship at Heatwave. He's coming for Lance Storm and he is ready to beat him and become the new ECW World Heavyweight Champion. We'll then have a decent 59 rated match as Super Crazy makes his first defense of the ECW World Junior Heavyweight Championship as he defeats Shinjiro Otani in 10 minutes and 30 seconds with a trifecta. This was our car crash match. It was a decent enough match. Unfortunately, they don't click and it showed in their performance, but it is a good first defense for Super Crazy. After this, we see Dusty Rhodes backstage alone for the first time in a while. He says that he will get revenge on the triple threat for retiring Randy Savage at Only Violence, and he especially wants revenge on Trent Acid for making Randy Savage submit. We'll then have a strong 71 rated Wild Brawl as Tommy Dreamer defeats La Parka in about 10.5 minutes with a Tommy Hawk. Again, it is a decent enough match here and a big win for Tommy Dreamer. After the match, however, Raven appears on the stage and stares Tommy Dreamer down. Dreamer asks why Raven turned on him. Why did Raven cost him the ECW World Heavyweight Championship at Only Violence? But Raven says nothing and walks away backstage, leaving Dreamer still confused in the ring as to why his former friend has turned on him. But then we go to our main event of the evening as Jerry Lynn makes his first defense of the ECW World Television Championship after he defeats Steven Regal by a roll-up. Again, he did beat Steven Regal for the Television Championship at Only Violence. This was Regal's rematch, but it is a huge win for Jerry Lynn as he defends the ECW World Television Championship. The show gets an overall rating of 82. Again, a really strong show. Fortunately, no popularity changes because we've reached our limit. So we'll see the financial report after this. So looking at our financial report, first of all, we made $80,000 on the show, which obviously is very, very strong. Like I said, there's no popularity recap. There is no media scrum, so we'll go straight to ECW on E. So, ECW on E opens up with a strong 79 rated match as Steven Regal defeats Supernova with a Regal stretch. Again, it was a really strong match here. Regal gets a 74, Nova gets a 50. Again, Nova was really off his game as well, but the great finish we used was a success. It is a good win for Steven Regal, trying to rebuild momentum after losing the ECW World Television Championship. We'll then go to a really strong 69 rated car crash match as the team of Super Crazy and Ricky Marvin defeat the FBI in Guido and Marmaluke when Crazy pins Marmaluke with a trifecta. Again, this was a really strong match. Obviously, Super Crazy being the best in the match, getting a 72. Everyone else getting mid-50s or low 50s, high 40s. Ricky Marvin doing really well, getting a 53, the same as Guido, but a big win for Crazy and Marvin. We then have Randy Savage in his first appearance since he retired at Only Violence. He tells Dusty Rhodes to go and destroy the triple threat for taking his career away from him. So Dusty Rhodes now has Randy Savage's blessing to go out and kill the triple threat. We'll then go to a strong 73 rated hardcore match as the triple threat of Shane Douglas and Trent Acid do defeat Balls Mahoney and Mikey Whipwreck when Douglas pins Balls Mahoney with a belly-to-belly suplex. Again, Trent Acid does really well, getting a 71. Douglas gets a 78, and it is a really strong match, especially from the triple threat. We'll then have an even better hardcore match as Raven defeats Masato Tanaka after an even flow DDT. Again, this does get a 77. I don't think it was actually better. Raven gets an 83. Tanaka gets a 76. But it is a really strong match and a big win from Raven. After the match, however, Dreamer comes out to talk to Raven. He wants to know why Raven turned on him after they were getting on so well for most of the year. Raven once again says nothing and walks away, leaving Dreamer alone in the ring and very confused. So again, will Raven tell Tommy Dreamer why he turned on him at Only Violence? But then we have our main event of the evening, as in an amazing 89 rated match. RVD defeats Steve Corino with a 5-star frog splash, but after interference or distraction from Dusty Rhodes, with Dusty Rhodes putting his plan to action, trying to destroy the triple threat, starting with Steve Corino. It seems like a man who's got a lot of history with before. We then have Lance Storm come out to the ring, onto the stage, or not onto the ring, out to the stage. RVD says that he will beat Lance Storm at Heatwave, and there is nothing that Storm or the rest of the Dangerous Alliance are going to do about it. So these two are on a collision course for ECW Heatwave in about 2 weeks' time, as RVD will challenge Lance Storm for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. This show does get a huge 89, I believe one of the best shows we've ever put on. Unfortunately, once again, doesn't result in any popularity changes, which is unfortunate. If we have a look at our financial report though, we made $192,000 on this show, so a huge profit made from this one show. Again, like I said, there's no popularity recap, no media scrum, so we'll go back to the home screen where we will unfortunately have to finish the episode due to time constraints. So here we are back at the home screen again. We have the mid-year awards. Now rest of the year is Kenta Kobashi, obviously WWF, the Company of the Year, Female Tag Team of the Year was Kandori and Hyuga. Again, we're not going to really go through every single one of them. Match of the Year was Kobashi defeating Akari Tao. The Show of the Year was Backlash. Again, really strong match here. Again, if we look at, is there Female Wrestler of the Year? Again, is China. So again, decent ratings here. So if we look at our emails, it does show the fact that Randy Savage has retired from in-ring competition. Our viewing figures, once again, over 1 million, 1.79, which means 1.3 million viewers. Misawa has left All Japan. Again, that's a huge, huge thing. We might be getting him in quite soon. Again, they'd be massive. We do have a decision to make. I believe it's about Randy Savage, whether what we do with him. We've got a few pay rise requests, but we'll also have a look at Randy Savage. I don't want to get rid of him. That's completely fine with me. So, again, I'll sign Randy Savage. Oh, he wants a lot more money. I don't really care. Yep, that is fine with me. We've got pay rise requests. I'll probably grant these pay rise requests, to be honest with you. Again, yep, fine with that. Jazz as well. Yep, completely fine with that. But, as I've said before, this is where I am going to end the episode. So, thank you very much for watching. Again, I do apologise for this episode being so short. I just don't have enough time this week to be able to record a full episode. But, again, apologies. Hopefully you did enjoy this short episode. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and we'll come back next week with hopefully a little bit of a longer episode when I'm going to try and include the next 2 weeks of Hardcore TV and ECW and also ECW Heatwave. So it may be a bumper episode to make up for the fact that this one is very short. But once again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.